Start your journey at the Furnace Creek Visitor Center in Death Valley National Park. Drive 50 miles north on the smooth road, then head west for another 30 miles on bumpy gravel roads. The drive takes around 4 hours, passing sand dunes, a meteor crater, narrow canyons, solitary Joshua trees, and hardly any signs of human existence. But as you crest the Cottonwood Mountains, you'll stumble upon a place that seems oddly out of place in this geologically peculiar park. Welcome to Moonjis, a place where you find all kinds of facts and mind-twirling information that would make you realize that facts are much stranger than fiction. Racetrack Playa is like a giant, dried-up lakebed surrounded by mountains, about 3 miles long and as flat as a tabletop. In the summer, the cracked floor looks ancient under the desert sun, and in the winter it's sometimes covered in ice and dustings of snow. But what really catches your eye are the dozens of stones scattered across the playa. These rocks, known as sailing stones, range from the size of a computer mouse to a microwave, each leaving a trail etched into the dirt, like the wake behind a boat. Looking at these stones, you're faced with a puzzling dilemma that these rocks seem to have moved on their own across the flat playa floor, and yet rocks don't just move by themselves, do they? It's very quiet out there, and it's very open, and you tend to have the playa to yourself, says Alan Van Valkenburg, a park ranger who has worked at Death Valley for nearly 20 years. And the longer you stay out there, it just takes on this incredible sense of mystery. The mystery is rooted in an extraordinary fact. No one has ever actually seen the rocks move. Over the years, people have come up with wild explanations like magnetism, aliens, or mysterious energy fields. Stone theft has even become a problem, with some thinking the rocks possess magical properties. However, removing them from the playa dispels any magical notions. Back in 1948, 2 geologists suggested that dust devils, along with occasional flooding, might be behind the rock's peculiar movement. In 1952, another geologist tried to create strong winds using a plane's propeller, but the results were inconclusive. Theories then shifted towards ice, especially during the 1970s, when researchers tracked stone movements and planted stakes, believing that ice sheets might be the culprits. If you learned something new and mysterious today, please support us by pressing that subscribe button and the bell icon, because that inspires us to make more of such amazing videos every day. In the late 80s and early 90s, a professor took student groups to study the stones annually, proposing that parallel tracks meant the rocks were locked together in large ice sheets blown by strong winds. But GPS mapping later showed that most tracks were not parallel, and wind-based models faced challenges calculating the necessary speeds. Enter Ralph Lorenz, a planetary scientist at Johns Hopkins University. In 2006, while setting up weather stations, Lorenz discovered the sailing stones. Studying weather patterns on the racetrack, he found that the buoyancy of ice could float boulders onto Arctic tidal beaches, creating barricades. Lorenz connected this idea with the racetrack stones and performed a kitchen table experiment, freezing a rock in a slab of ice and letting it glide in water. In 2011, Lorenz and his team presented their model. A slab of ice forms around a rock, and the liquid level changes, floating the rock out of the mud. The ice sheet acts like a keel, carving a trail in the soft mud. This model requires only a slight breeze for the stones to glide, debunking the need for massive wind speeds or enormous ice sheets. However, Ranger Van Valkenburg notes that visitors often resist such a concrete explanation for the peculiar phenomenon. People always ask, what do you think causes them to move? But if you try to explain, they don't always want to hear the answers, he says. People like a mystery, they like an unanswered question. But Lorenz's physical explanation doesn't have to diminish the awe of the sailing stones. If you sit at the playa and imagine the stones sailing over time, it could be even more captivating. As civilizations rise and fall and cities are built and left to decay, the stones will continue their perpetual journey, nudged by the slightest breezes, eternally carving mysterious paths into the hard flat ground. If you like this video, a sub to the channel would be amazing, and share the video with your friends to show off how different this world has been. You can also visit our website www.moonjis.com for thousands of such mind-blowing content. See you tomorrow with more amazing content. Thanks for watching.